JJ the CPA here. Could you imagine, we're going to talk about some buy-sell agreement if you have a business partner and they become disabled. So could you imagine that? I mean, you're going to be in a situation where you've gone into business with somebody, right? So they've got to be like family, if not closer. So you and your partner or partners have a business together, and of course, you know, when you own a business, you are absolutely invincible. Nothing will ever happen. You're made of steel. Nothing bad will ever happen until you retire and you get old. Everything will just work perfect and magically. But here's the crazy thing. I hadn't been presented this concept until a few years ago when I got really into looking at insurance and protecting my clients and their assets. And if you have a situation where one of your partners becomes disabled, what are you going to do? And I understand that there can be, you know, disability income insurance, but that just protects their income. So what happens though if they're disabled to where you know, they can't continue, or they can't work, or their assets are depleted, so they can no longer be in a situation to sign off on notes or put capital calls in. And I know right off the bat, anybody that's listening to this, it's like, well, you know, that's my brother, that's my sister, I'm in business with them, I'll take care of them forever. And that's all fine and good. I'm not saying you wouldn't, but wouldn't it be better to have some insurance in place that would actually just take care of that? You know, like literally pennies on the $100 that would cost. And you also have to think of the reality. So let's just say, you know, let's just take us a dental practice and there's two of you, and of course you would always want to look out for your partner, but now there's not a dentist, there's not two dentists, there's one. So how will you have the money to really support your partner and his family in the disability? So again, I'm not talking about just a partial disability. I am talking about in the circumstances of a total disability, or at least a disability that would prevent them from continuing to either work or be able to produce or participate, whether it's physically or financially. There's just a lot of circumstances, and you know, as well-intentioned as we all are, sometimes they're just circumstances that are beyond everybody's control. And then it comes down to, well, I mean, either I, who am not disabled, have to move out of my house and downgrade and go deeper into debt because I do want to help my partner, and maybe you would do that. And so maybe it does make sense not to spend $48 a month because you'd rather just go ahead and sell your house and, you know, tell your kids you can't pay for their college because something, you know, happened to your partner. And you do want to see that commitment through, but it's not worth spending $48 a month because it's kind of ridiculous, right? You don't plan to get in an auto accident, so of course you don't waste money buying auto insurance, and you don't expect anything's going to happen to your house. So you're probably super smart and you don't buy anything, you know, any insurance on your house. So of course I'm being extremely sarcastic that you do have auto insurance, you do have insurance on your home. Why? I mean, are you literally expecting you're going to get in a car accident? I mean, did you buy the auto insurance? You're like, man, sweet, check it out. I'm going to spend $144 a month and I'm going to get in a sweet accident at the end of the year and totally make my money back. No, you get it for the what ifs. So let me pull it back, not be sarcastic. It's just that no one thinks about this crap. And a couple of reasons no one thinks about it is everybody thinks it's crap. Or you have a salesman and you think they're just there to make a commission, or you have a salesman that's here today and gone tomorrow, or you have someone in insurance and they didn't think to tell you. So the reason I find it irritating and the reason I'm a little frustrated is that this is a huge problem for any business that has a partner. Or think of any business that has a specialty and you have an employee that you're very reliant on. So you have a business and you're doing research, and you're relying on that one person to do and continue the research, or that spectacular salesperson, or whatever. The point is that you can get disability insurance that buys out your partner. So if they become disabled, you can buy them out. And I'm not talking about for 50 grand, which might be all that you can afford, or 150 grand. I'm talking about for fair market value. So if you're really doing things the way that JJ the CPA would have you do, and I do, is you would have disability income insurance on your partner and yourself So if there's any kind of a part-time disability or short-term or a couple of years, there's income to at least handle that. But then getting, in addition to that, a disability buyout policy, so that, think of this, you have a partner, or you get disabled, you're disabled forever or disabled for years. So you're in a situation where you're going to now have that income, or your partner's going to have the income, but then what happens though to the buyout of the practice, or the business, right? Do you think that your partner's spouse is going to be like, well, gosh, I guess we'll just make it on 60% of what we used to make, because that's all disability income insurance will pay out, and then we'll just call it even, I guess we just got, bad break. Well, no, right? You would want your partner, or you, if it happened to you, would want to get a buyout of the business, or a chunk of money related to getting out of the business in a way that you're making you and your partner whole, one way or another. So that all comes down to protecting your assets and protecting yourself, buying disability buyout insurance, and I'm telling you right now, it is cheap. So let's visit, or if you're going to talk with somebody and they're like, I don't know if I really need that, I don't know if you really need it, you might want to seek other advice. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in, and I would love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel, giving away great advice every day. If you even got a little bit of advice out of this, take a second and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me.